Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with Game 3 of my first Constructed Cube back. If you're only here for the giveaway, feel free to skip to the end. Looks like we have our opponent, Arzakon. Arzakon, you're going down. We're about to be 2-1, not the dreaded 1-2. Not a great start. No grass, but actually a dragon out of the gates, not so bad. Certainly going to do that over a static shock to the face. And now we do have something like Grasp, Shock, Flame Lance, which is pretty darn strong for us. Or maybe we'll get really lucky and he'll play a guy with Defender and we'll crush it. Interesting. So it looks like he's probably playing the mirror, only he's probably playing a better version. So I think a more non-budget version has this guy in it, who's pretty strong. Oh, wow. And he has armor as well. So, not only does he armor his face... Oh, that was a big... Well, I guess it wasn't a big blunder. Because I could either do that or not at all. I guess... What I could have... Actually, that was a blunder. I could have done that first, then Grasp, then that. So that's actually a really big blunder. That could cost me a lot, actually. That was a big error. Big errors are really unfortunate. So hopefully that won't cost me the game, but it very well may. I should basically have that guy dead. Instead I don't. So we shall see moving forward. I didn't actually realize he had armor as well as everything else. The perils of not knowing all the new cards. Mobility, armor, and gives him armor. Yeah, so I think he fits into this Ice Grasp deck really well. Probably better actually than the Steel Scale Dragon, to be honest. Being able to give yourself armor is pretty strong. That's really interesting. So he's overriding him because he figures he's dead anyway. So I have an interesting question. I think what I do is Stasis Warden here. The problem with Stasis Warden will die. It doesn't really gain me that much. It may be better just to do damage to the dragon. I think we will just do damage to the dragon. Now the dragon's pretty much dead. I'll either kill him next turn, or he'll kill him by playing something. So it's going to be interesting. Like, not playing creatures is actually not too bad in this matchup, because then they can't Flame Lance, which is quite a bit of damage that gets pulled away from them. There's that chance that's what they have, right? That now they can't play a spell because they only had a Flame Lance and it can only hit a creature. So I'm definitely going to be torn as to how I go about my business here. Probably going to go Ice Grasp Bolt. Okay, unless he does that. Burnout actually kills him, which is quite nice. So we'll do that. Does it matter if we do that first? Yeah, it does matter. Slightly more damage to do it this way. Actually, it kind of depends on how those triggers resolved. Maybe it would have done the damage before I did the face. I don't think so, but to be honest, I don't know. I like Shatterbolt. Shatterbolt will definitely help me remove whatever he plays. Between the Shatterbolt and the Lightning Spark, I'll be able to kill whatever he plays. I think he only has one Ice Grasp down. So, with that being the case, we have a really big advantage here. Yeah, so we get to go Shatterbolt, Lightning Spark. I think we'd rather level the Spark over the Bolt. I don't think we're going to play a level 3, so I think leveling is sort of irrelevant at this point. But you never know. That Bolt 2 is going to be big. Being able to bolt one of his guys is nice. Okay. Damage to the face. He's drawing a lot more static shocks than we have to chain that together, which is a little bit scary. Jeez. Wow, we may be in kill range, actually. But not much we can do. We're not going to be making it to player level 3. So we can go max damage and burn him out. So I think he still only has the 1. So we're in really good shape here. Since we do 9, so we do 18, we should win. Unless we get very unlucky. When we did! Oh, jeez, this is exactly what I was talking about. This is the most unlucky we could have gotten. So basically, if he does not play a character, we lose. So let's see what he does. Does he play a creature, or do we lose the game? Because our Flame Lance will not hit him. Even so, I mean, it's not that much. We probably lose anyway. Okay. Did he play a second grasp? Is that what happened? Yeah, so I think we die. Because he's got... How much armor does he have? 15? That's a hell of a lot of armor. We can't block him because he'll move, so we should lose the game here. We will lance him because what else are we going to do? We'll put him here. He took 1 whole damage from that. Boy, I can't imagine we don't lose this. We do have a way to win if he can't actually beat us here, but he should be able to beat us here with 2 Ice Grasps on the board. That last turn was really big. The Angel's good. In the mirror, I think the Angel just absolutely wins the mirror match, and I don't know, the Angel might just be the way to go otherwise. I mean, if you can't kill us here for some crazy reason, we do win the game, but I mean, he does not need a whole lot to win this. I can't even conceive of cards that he would have that would not allow him to win. He'd have to have, like, all creatures. So if he plays 2 spells, that's 12. That's 22. I don't know what he would have to have. Like, Yorante bolts and stuff like that. So I think we're toasted, but if we're not, we get to go Shatterbolt on the Archangel. Then we get to shock him. Okay, so that helps. I mean, right now we're moving out of the way of that guy. Oh, yeah, because the dragon thing. Does he have it? All he needs is any damage spell and he wins. And he wins! That's it. Game 3 is in the books. We're 1-2, people. This is not going well. China Grimes is not having a good day. So, if you want to qualify for this giveaway, go ahead and put a comment in the video channel. Or sorry, underneath the video. Be a subscriber to the YouTube channel. And I will see you next time when hopefully I can pull this thing to 2-2. See you soon. Alright, this is game 4 of my first queue back. And it's been a little bit rough so far. We're only at 1-2. So let's see if we can pull off a 2-2 and not go with the dreaded 1-3. Oh, that'd be terrible. Alright, looks like we have an opponent. Varna. Let's do this thing, Varna. Alright. Not a great hand. Since we can't play anything. Oh, God. Alright. Let's play, do you want to level a Crush or a Lance? Lance doesn't get that much bigger. Crush does. Let's level a Crush. I mean, Crush gets infinitely better if we have stuff to hit. So we've got our Stasis Warden. We have Steel Scale Dragon. Probably what I'm going to do is go Warden, Shatterbolt. That would be my guess. Oh boy. Alright, we've got a big guy to deal with. Luckily we have Stasis Warden that handles one big guy really well. So we'll go ahead and do that. Plus Shatterbolt does great against armor decks as well. So we should actually be in pretty good shape if this really is a like grow big guys, put a bunch of armor on them. We'll have a decent shot. Especially since we have another Shatterbolt in hand. We haven't seen an Ice Grasp yet, so that's a little worrisome, but if we can control the board well enough, then that'll work out. Oof, that works out less well. But should be okay here because we can burn out him and we can Shatterbolt this guy. And then it's okay, we just have an Aegis Knight wandering around. With an Ice Grasp on the board right now, I would feel like we would be in great shape. Not having one, we could be in big trouble because we're going to have a turn like this one where we're probably going to be forced into the double Ice Grasp. And we may not be able to get away with that. The board just may get too far away that we actually can't do that. That helps a lot. Arbiter's a really weak card in this spot. Yeah, that's an incredibly weak play on his part. It gives us, I don't mean poor play, I mean weak play, as in it doesn't pressure the board, and it lets me get away with a play that would have been really tough for me to get away with otherwise. And now that lets me go into 2.1 in much, much better shape than I was before. Now I have the Stasis Warden. I can go ahead and put that down, Shatterbolt something, kill a guy, lock down a guy, this kind of thing, and maybe, just maybe, be alright. Wow, especially with him putting so much into that guy. Let's be sure on this card. Third card. Okay, so we're not going to play a lot of third cards anyway. It'd pretty much just be Static Shock. Alright, so we'll put him down. Shadowbolt that guy. Lock down the Aegis Knight. And we may be able to slow this game down enough to be able to play an Edict. Probably we won't get to play an Edict here. Either Stasis Warden will die, and we won't get to Edict, or we'll probably be able to do stuff like Shock Crush. Well, maybe not with the Arbiter there. Ooh, boy. The Arbiter and the Sentry. That's a rough combo for me. It may just be better for me to play Edict here. The problem is the Sentry is the one that is left alive, and that is definitely problematic. Because he will kill the Stasis Ward next turn. We're only going to get the 2 spells then. Actually, we could kill the Sentry with Stasis Warden if we really want. If we wanted to go Burnout on the Sentry and then Edict and then Battle, we would actually kill the Sentry. So I'm a bit torn on that, whether that is the right approach or whether it'd be better just to do a Lightning Spark. If we go to 3, it's going to be really early in 3, so having the Burnout gone won't be that big of a deal. It's just interesting because we could choose a Crush route instead. The problem is I just don't think we have anything quite good enough. We could go something like Burnout on the Leyline. But yeah, I think the answer is just going to be to go Burnout, Edict, wipe the board, start over, and be okay with that. Be okay with a full board wipe, knowing that we're in pretty good shape here. We have 2 grasps down. I think a full board wipe helps us a lot, especially with this third grasp now. So third grasp, he plays 2 guys. We grasp Flame Lance. If we can kill one of them with the Flame Lance, we'll be okay. If we can't, then things get a little dicier. He ends up getting 4 guys on the board. We end up kind of needing another Edict. Yeah, there's a chance here that Steel Scale into Edict is actually better. I don't have to think about this. He's going to do 13 minimum next turn. We're doing 9 every spell, but we're really not doing that well. We're only going to have him at 70 after this turn. It's going to be interesting. We only have 1 Edict left in the deck. I think we're going to have to find it. That's really the problem. And we only have 2 characters left in the deck as well, so it's an interesting decision here. It's quite a decision point, right? Do we Ice Grasp here or not? Maybe we do, and then play the Steel Scale Dragon. I'm just kind of worried about playing the Dragon because he has so much removal with all of his armor tricks that kind of feels like there's a chance this is a complete waste playing the Dragon. But I'm going to, in case, like one way to look at it is if he plays an armor removal spell, then he's not actually playing a guy. So maybe that's a better way to look at this. And now I have a dude on the board either pushing damage or threatening to make good trades. So that's why we'll go this way. Yeah, so he did do Soulgrim, and it didn't even kill him. So that was really good for me, especially since I can still Shatterbolt him. And I can still Shatterbolt him. So it really works out pretty well for me. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? So Shatterbolt is actually 9. I was thinking it was only 8. That's interesting. If I Shatterbolt him, and then maybe Flame Lance the Aegis Knight, I think that works. That's a fair amount of damage. The other way might be just to go Stasis Warden. But if I play the Stasis Warden and instantly kills the Steel Scale, I think we can win by going face this game now. I think he's played it slowly enough that we should be okay, actually. Because we have the 3 grasps. He had just a bunch of turns there where he could have really pressured us, and he either chose not to or didn't quite have the cards at his disposal to do it. And I think it's those couple of turns that are really going to be what decides this game, especially since we can crush something here as well. So anything he plays is dead. So especially if he goes crazy and buffs one guy, like he has a couple times, then we'll be in really great shape. Okay, so he doesn't do that. We can just Shatterbolt down the Aegis Knight and then lock down the other Aegis Knight. And we're still in really great shape here. He's just not really going to be fast enough to stop all this damage. I'm probably threatening lethal here this turn, depending on what I draw. But yeah, so with 2 Flame Lances, that's 18 alone just from the Flame Lances, and then their damage should be lethal. So it was an interesting game where there were like those 2 turns where he had choices, and he played spells instead of just pushing guys on the board and beating me, and it ended up hurting him in the end. Like I said, it may not have been a decision point on his part. It may have just simply been that those are the cards I had at my disposal. But those 2 turns are definitely what cost him the game. If he could have pushed on those turns, he would have beaten us. All right, so we went 2-2. For my first constructed cube back, that's not great, but it's not terrible. Let's take a look at the deck and see what we learned. All right, so I think the main thing we learned was that this deck isn't quite the right build. There's that Angel, I don't even know his name, the Archangel guy who's really strong, especially for the mirror. He's really strong. This guy, Ambriel Archangel, but even just generally so for this deck, he's really strong because they have to deal with him before they get to hit you in the face. I also think, generally speaking, more creatures are the way to go in this deck. I have a new build that I'll bring you in the future here. Oh, I actually didn't even realize this. I own him. All right. Well, he's definitely going in the deck. So I'm going to be building a deck with this guy in Ice Grasp and more creatures. It'll still be an Ice Grasp deck, but it'll have a few more creatures in it, triggering the Edict a little bit more. I don't actually like Steel Scale Dragon that much with Stasis Warden, because you get in this weird spot where he's fine, but you often can't play him because you want to be able to play Stasis Warden. And the way I'm building this, it's around Stasis Warden, not around the dragon. So I would rather have Archangel than the dragon, and maybe one other set of creatures. So stay tuned for another video from me about Ice Grasps coming soon with my new and improved Ice Grasp deck. So hopefully you enjoyed my first constructed cube back. Hopefully your prediction was right. I know mine was. I said I thought I would go 2-2. I went 2-2. I'm fine with that. And stay tuned to Tiny Grimes Games. I'll see you next time.